Hello, beautiful beings. It is a very bittersweet ending to this series. We just had the winter solstice, graced our lovely energy, and the Yule is upon us on this beautiful Monday. I was honestly going to do this warrior series on Wednesdays, but I realized that it would cross over with the Yule and Christmas, so it would kind of like land on Christmas Day, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be doing channelings on Christmas Day. I got a lot of fun, exciting things going on very soon in my own personal life, and also kind of working on things for the realm of inspiration and the website and all the things. So I want to get started on that. Let's have this series on the Monday. Christmas Eve, right after the winter solstice is perfect. So we are going to be talking about karmic justice, divine justice, and how that is going to help us embrace our highest self. So I'm going to have an Elfian Warrior of divine justice come through now, and I'm feeling like they got a quick message and they're going to be in and out. They're like, we're going to talk about it, we're going to get to the points, we're going to get you ready to stepping into your highest self, and we're going to move on. So I'm feeling a divine masculine Elfian Warrior of divine justice. When I have safely stepped back, you may step forth. Hello, beautiful beings. Isn't it a wonderful flow today with lots of beautiful energy that our communicator was talking about? I am an Elfian Warrior of Divine Justice, and I will start by congratulating you all on getting this far in this series and taking time to learn about all of these different warrior principles. Now, embracing divine justice is, in truth, embracing karmic balance and the trust in the flow of karma and trust. Divine justice is this divine energy that it works with a lot of different archangels, like Archangel Michael, Archangel Daniel, Archangel Raguel, Archangel Zadkiel, all kind of work with this divine justice and the board of karma energy of the congregation of different archangels. And when you embrace divine justice, you are embracing the trust that everything is going to work out for the highest good of all. Embracing divine justice is embracing the highest good of all. So that's what I really want to talk about, and it's honestly very simple. To embrace divine justice and truly really step into your highest self is embracing the acceptance of the highest good for the collective all. So what is needed for the collective all and not what you want. Understanding that everything is working out for your highest good, even if it doesn't seem that way. But it is the acceptance of that divine justice. It's for the highest good of the collective all. And it's overcoming that anger of like, well, this didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. It's overcoming that feeling and having that trust that, okay, well, maybe this is how it was meant to be. So it is very important for you all to start to accept that fact, because the highest self understands the bigger picture and knows that sometimes things aren't always working out all sunshine and rainbowy for you, but they could be working out that way for someone else, and it is divine justice. Sometimes you got karma you gotta pay. Even if you're doing spiritual work, you're like, well, you might have had one lifetime. Might have had one lifetime where you did a lot of horrible things, and you're embracing spiritual light and love now, and you're embracing stepping into your highest self now, but you got some karma to pay. And the more that you awaken and the more that you start healing, this current incarnation, then things from past lives start to come up. There could be a past life that it wasn't brought to your attention, but you got some karma you got to pay. It's divine justice. It's trusting, okay? I'm doing my part. I have to accept it. And oftentimes when you start to embrace that divine justice and accepting that sometimes you did bad things, there is this common narrative of a lot of channelers or healers or whatever not really discussing, not really talking about, the fact that they've also done things wrong. There's a lot of, this is what I'm doing and I am right, and this is healing my karma. Sometimes it is not. Sometimes it is not. Every single one of you have done things wrong, have done lots of things wrong, have hurt lots of people in other lifetimes or in this lifetime. And you got to accept it. You have to accept that fact, that you did do things wrong. And it is okay. Maybe you did hurt people, and it's okay. That's why forgiveness exists. That's why there is that light of forgiveness. That's why there is the light and the path of enlightenment, where you heal, you forgive yourself, you seek forgiveness, you apologize, and you let go of, and you move on, and you heal, and you accept your karma. Because when you accept it, you're like, okay, I know I did this bad thing, so I'm going to accept the karma that's coming to me. Oftentimes, it makes things easier. Actually, when you accept divine justice and in the work that it does in its karma, and you take accountability for the things that you've done wrong and the things that might have negatively impacted your karmic balance, and you're like, okay, I don't want to be dealing with this in another lifetime, so I accept it now and give me something that's me paying my karmic dues. Or, I want to clear my karmic balance. How can I do that? Is there something that I can do? Accepting. Not I want to clear my karmic balance and I don't want to acknowledge anything I did wrong because I only did things right, but let's clear my karmic balance. That's the ego. It's easier for you, and it's easier for humanity when you accept the things that you've done wrong, and you accept the flow of karma and the flow of divine justice. Things go by quicker. Things go by quicker. And what I mean by that, is you paying your karmic dues can go by faster. And maybe it doesn't hurt as much. Maybe it's a little bit easier. Because really, the biggest thing that divine justice is trying to bring forth to you is accountability. Is overcoming that pride of the ego. Overcoming that pride of the ego and taking accountability for the things that you've done wrong and the things that you've done right. But not just doing something right for the sake of, okay, I did this thing right, and now, are you going to make sure I don't suffer? Don't do that. Your guides don't want to see that. Source and God don't want to see that. Your angels don't want to see that. They don't want to see you holding the door open for somebody and then you looking off to the side and kind of just being like, I did this thing good. Can I not suffer now? No one wants, no. That's because that's the ego. Beautiful souls, because that's the ego. I volunteered. I did volunteer work. Can I not suffer now? No. Because that's not why you should be doing it. Okay? Okay. I take accountability. I did some things wrong. I accept my karma however you're going to bring it to me. And I'm going to do these good things because these good things elevate me. Because it is part of spreading cosmic joy. Because it's part of cosmic kindness. It's part of truly harmonious connections. It's part of unity. But I do these things because I want to do these things. Not because every time I do them, I'm going to look off to the side and be like, can I not suffer now? I don't want to be begging the universe to not suffer. The universe is going to be like, well, why do you not want to suffer? What did you do wrong? Let me check your karmic balance. Oh, well, eventually you're going to have to suffer. The universe is looking like, well, eventually you're going to have to suffer because you caused a lot of suffering. Well, that's why you don't want to suffer. Well, that's not how karma works. The universe is going to be like, dear, beautiful child. That's not how that works. You can't just beg not to suffer anymore. The suffering is teaching you something. The suffering is a lesson. There's a lesson in the suffering. And what is the lesson? What is the pattern? What is the cycle? What is the karma? What is it? Because if you want to accept the fact that the people that did you wrong are going to have divine justice find them, then you have to take accountability for the things that you did wrong. If you're going to trust the flow of karma and divine justice in one way, you have to do it in the other way. And a lot of humans are wanting, well, I just want everyone who hurt me to suffer. Ooh, that's negative on your karmic balance. That's the ego talking. Of course you're going to want justice to be served, but sometimes justice can be the smallest bittersweet feeling of justice. You feel it. You're like, no one had to suffer, but justice was served. Divine justice does not come to cause suffering. It comes to clear the negative karma. If you're wanting divine justice to find the people who hurt you, you have to take accountability for the fact that you also contributed to the negative karmic balance of humanity. Every human does. There is no human free from that. Well, I guess except Jesus. But there is no human free from contributing negativity to the karmic balance. Except, maybe there are a few very high enlightened beings who are free from that in that incarnation, of course. In that incarnation. But every human being, at least even the most seemingly perfect of human beings, has at least done one thing that negatively affected the karmic balance. Because that's why you're here. Because you're here incarnating in the physical to experience life. And sometimes on your path of enlightenment and on your path of healing, you might unintentionally hurt someone along the way and cause a little bit of a negative to the karma because you're here to clear it. And there are some souls that they spend lifetimes clearing their karma, and then they come and they incarnate and they are fully enlightened. And they have no more karma to clear, and then they can do the big missions. And then they can do the big things. But then every single day is a test to see, do you really understand this as a soul? Are you really there? Do you really know? There's the little testing. Divine Justice does some testing sometimes with you to see if you'll take accountability for your wrongs as well as your rights. There is this constant relationship like, hey God, look what I did. Like, hey Dad, look at me. I did this good thing, I did this good thing, I did this good thing. And I go, hey, you're taking accountability for that. My God and Source in the universe is looking, well, what about all these bad things that you did? Do you want to take accountability for those? You're like, nope. I don't want to. Okay. Well, those are actions that you did. Those are actions that affect you and other people and affect your ability to be in your highest self. So you take accountability for those actions and you work to heal your karmic balance and allow divine justice to flow. You're actually doing something good. Well, you're thinking, how is it good for me to accept that I did these bad things? Those bad things aren't good. I don't want anyone to know about it. And God, Source, Creator is looking at you. The universe is looking at you. And when you accept those things and you work to heal them, you're healing yourself and others, and you're actually doing more good than doing the good things when you heal the bad things. Well, how? You're wondering how? How am I doing more good by healing the bad things than doing good things? Well, because you're healing the bad things and you're overcoming pride. You're overcoming the ego. You are acknowledging your faults. You are acknowledging your wrongs, and you are working to heal it for yourself. And when you work to heal it for yourself, to help yourself be free and lighter so you can be in your highest self, to liberate yourself, then you're healing everything. And then maybe one day, someone that you may have done something to hurt, that you're healing that karma, they're going to have some good karma hit them. And maybe even you're going to have some good karma hit you, too. Because then you're healing that wound, you're healing that discord. And that person might be draining all their energy, wondering, well, why did they do this to me? Why did they hurt me? And you might not even think you did anything that wrong. Might even realize it, but they are draining their energy. And when you heal that and you let that go and you take accountability, I did something wrong and I am sorry. And I'm forgiving myself. And I hope that they can forgive me too. But even if they can't, I know the God, Source, Creator is forgiving me for my actions, taking accountability for what I did wrong. And all of a sudden, that person just feels this weight lifted off of them, like, wow, I feel like divine justice has occurred. Sometimes divine justice is just the person who did something wrong acknowledging that they did something wrong. A lot of times, when you are hurt, or if you hurt someone, the person in the hurt just wants the person who hurt them to acknowledge that they did something wrong. And that brings all of the healing. A lot of times, what you really need is that acknowledgement. Well, if they just took accountability for the fact that they're hurting me, I'd feel okay. Well, that's divine justice. Like, well, if that's the case, then maybe people that I hurt, if I just take accountability, that they're going to feel okay. So I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. Let me take accountability and work to heal this. Let's heal the ley lines of the earth together. and heal the karma. Heal the karma from the ancestry. Heal it from every which way. Well, you know what? I have this dead relative that cannot take accountability, but as a part of their lineage and bloodline, I'm going to take accountability for the fact that this relative of mine did some bad things, and I'm sorry. That's ancestral healing. That is clearing that. A lot of it is just accountability and overcoming the ego and accepting that you do things wrong. That's divine justice. And when you accept those things, you pave the path for you to start to do things right. And then you can step into your highest self more. You can never embrace your highest self if you've got all of these bad things going on and all of these weights weighing you down that you are ignoring. The highest self is going to acknowledge those things, heal those things, let go of those things, leave a path of light and love behind them, and then leave it before them. Because for you to understand how you can be your highest self, you got to take accountability for your faults. Because if you don't, and you keep ignoring them, the ego will always be in control. And there will always be pride influencing you and preventing you from higher actualization and alignment in the physical. So, the final challenge for you, what can you take accountability for? How can you overcome pride? Crystals that can help you with that. Carnelian, soapstone, carnelian, soapstone, obsidian, carnelian, soapstone, obsidian, onyx, yellow onyx. There's one more. Blue lace agate, or blue lace agate, or moonstone. And that is the final message. Wow. I don't know how you all feel about being called out like that. I love that they're direct. I love that. And they're always speaking from compassion. But I'm like, you're speaking through me. Like, I'm channeling you, and you're calling me and all of humanity out. Like, it's almost like a very weird thing. I sometimes avoid watching these back just because it's sometimes this like freaky thing for me to see like a higher being speaking through me, or like being of inspiration speaking through me, and like saying things that are really calling me out, and it's like it's my face. I think that's partially why when I do the channelings I keep your eyes closed, so that if I do have to watch these back, I'm not like a little bit like it's a weird feeling for me, and especially when it's something like that, and they're looking at my karmic lineage to read for the collective, because I give them permission to do that. They don't read your karmic lineage unless you give them permission. And so since I gave them permission for that, they're reading mine, and I'm seeing mine. I'm like, oh. But they're speaking on a general collective level, but it makes sense. I did have an experience where I felt like divine justice was like, and it was just the smallest of things, and you would think, well, this person did a huge thing to hurt me. Like did a huge thing to hurt me. Like, it would have to be a huge thing to feel that justice, but no, it was the smallest thing. It was the smallest thing, and it was because I took some action, and I'm like, I have control over that. I have control of feeling that. And then I felt it. I'm like, this is the divine justice. I think I just saw a hawk flying by, almost confirming that hawks are connected to the warrior frequency. Fun fact. So, I felt it. I saw that visual of like that feeling. That was when I felt it. I'm like, I don't feel like I need to look for it anymore. And maybe it's because in that moment and what I did to, liberate myself from something that person felt and realized, okay, I did something wrong. And then now, because of that, and because I feel like that divine justice was served, I've started to see things differently and understand things and have clarity on a different level, and see the humanity. Wow, I'm emotional. But to see the humanity in the person who caused me the most pain in my life. It is this, like, when you accept that the justice that you are seeking isn't something huge, it could be the simplest of things. I wasn't even really seeking for karma or divine justice. I'm like, my karma is just, I started to very slowly feel like I don't need this thing. I don't need it to be huge. I don't need it to be on display. I don't need to have that pridefulness. I just need to feel free. I need to feel that liberation. And then it came. And I was avoiding it. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with it. But they're like, yep. I'm hearing, yep. But you had to. And they're like, oh, well, not that. So many things didn't work out so that I was put in the situation where I had to do something to liberate myself, that I had that feeling. And that's like the biggest payment from the universe. Sometimes the universe grants us abundance by that feeling. But yeah, accountability. This should be called embracing accountability, but I get why it's called embracing divine justice. I get why they wanted to use that term. So this is the conclusion of the series. There was a talking about in the last channeling about, and I have all the courses in the description. It's not too late to get the discount. But there is the course of balancing your divinity that really helps, and it was honestly really healing for me to even channel that, especially with healing like the divine paternal nature. So I definitely recommend checking that out. It's just $4 with code THX4 at checkout, and the link's in the description. And it's gonna be that way until December 31st. So you got 8 days to take advantage of that. 8 days. You got 8 days. So hop to it. Purchase those courses, and of course, everyone will be entered to win a free reading, a free channeled reading, a free live channeled reading, or if you're really not comfortable with that and you're the winner, we can coordinate something else, but you would still get to be on Inspired Awakening and talk about your journey, and we can share some stories, because there's so many, so many different things, and there's so many things I would love to talk about, and have someone to talk about it with on Inspired Awakening, and we can coordinate something. I'm just looking for more souls to connect with, and maybe we can talk about accountability. Maybe we can talk about accountability. I feel like this was a very enriching and enlightening conversation. I want to, obviously, the elephant in the room, I've been wearing, obviously, the same color frequency in every video, the same shirt, and that's because with embracing the warrior frequency and stepping into your highest self, green. This is the only green shirt I currently have. And green, the color frequency of green, is healing for the inner child and healing for the heart chakra. And a lot of times, to step into our highest self, we got to heal the wounds on our heart and on our inner child, because those wounds and those pains kind of weigh us down. And a lot of times, those walls that we put up prevent us from embracing things like kindness and divine justice and liberation, because there's a lot of anger in the pain. And green is actually very healing for healing anger. Surprisingly, it is a very powerful color frequency to heal anger, because it is that opposite energy, almost. It's a healing color, Archangel Raphael, but it's very powerful for healing anger. So, that's that. I love the crystals that they gave, soapstone. I have a beautiful soapstone. And again, it's not with me. I miss them. But I will actually be reunited with those crystals tomorrow. Yeah, so that's exciting. And once I get those crystals, I'm probably going to do some videos about the messages from crystals, starting within the next week. Doing some more things with the crystals, since they gave us so many crystals, so I want to highlight the crystals that they gave and messages from those crystals, so you can expect that. And that's why I'm kind of mentioning them, because the ones that stood out to me, I'm going to make videos about. So, until then, stay inspired, sending you love, light, and inspiration. Goodbye for now.